I came to bury sleep.
Cursed spite that ever I was born to set it.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
This is the excellent foppery of the world.
I played it 3 times, yeah. I played Hamlet 3 times. The first time was at the Long Wharf Theater. Arvin Brown directed it in New Haven, Connecticut in January. I remember it was 1970, around 70, yeah. And getting over, the first time you play Hamlet, at least for me, it was the experience was about just getting over the intimidation of, first of all, being compared to every other actor that's ever played Hamlet, and just the challenge of learning the part, and then making it your own, making it, finding an interpretation. And I was still sort of searching for all those things. I really hadn't put my finger on a way to do Hamlet, and yet it was successful enough that Joe Papp came to see it, and he said, "I want to do it in New York in the park this summer, but I want to do a different production." And it was an amazing cast. James Earl Jones as Claudius, Colleen Dewhurst was Gertrude, Kitty Wynn was Ophelia. She had also been Ophelia in the Long Wharf production in New Haven. And Linda Hunt was the player queen in both the Long Wharf and the New York production. And by the way, Kitty Wynn and Linda Hunt came out here when we did it at the Mark Taper Forum, some 2 years later after that. Anyway, the second production was, I think, the highlight because of the cast. Hamlet is very much about everybody else. It's not just about Hamlet. Even though the focus is there, you need to have great actors in those other roles. And I did. I had Raul Julia was Osric, Sam Waterston played Laertes, Barney Hughes was Polonius. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. The first Hamlet was primarily about just getting on, memorizing the part and interacting with the other actors and playing the scenes. But I learned early on that the trick with Hamlet, as it is with almost all of these great parts, is a moment-to-moment reality. That once you begin to overlay or intellectualize about the character, you're in deep trouble. It has to be intuitive. Now, in order to get to that, there are lots of things you have to do. First of all, just the mechanics of the lines. If there are fight scenes involved, if there are jumps and leaps and whatever the theatrical obligations are, physical obligations in terms of the production, and those things have to be dealt with initially. And once they're dealt with, then you can begin to figure out what it is that's going on inside you at that particular moment, which is the whole trick with not only Hamlet, but almost every Shakespearean character. But the great thing about Hamlet is that you don't play Hamlet. No actor plays. Hamlet plays you. And you have to allow him to be there. And by getting rid of all your premeditations, I would sit down in New York before I went on, and I would write out to get rid of all these kind of intellectual ideas about a scene or about a moment, and to eliminate all of that and just play each moment as it was happening at that particular moment. It never happened before. And that's the trick, if you can do that, to make it real, alive, and spontaneous. But you have to be able to do that and speak iambic pentameter at a clip at the same time. It's an amazing role. It's all encompassing. There's not a single note of human emotion that isn't expressed in that play. The extraordinary range of Hamlet is what I think is what makes it sort of the benchmark, the measuring stick for a young actor, a young classical actor. You got to be good in Hamlet. You got to be a good Hamlet. And I kept saying, well, I'm getting better, and I think the interesting thing is by the third time I played it, I really felt like I had come to understand how to play it or how to allow it to play you. And I got the worst reviews of all three productions. David Sheehan said, "It's not a Great Dane, but it's still a dog."
Whoa. Oh no!
Which is one of the best bad reviews I've ever had. I'm very proud of that.